Good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome to the virtual Five Flag Speedway for LSRTV's coverage of Upstate Racing League, the Lay Enterprise, MP Roy Inc. Pro Late Model Series. If they can't get a bigger name than that to sponsor, I don't know who can. Joining me tonight in the booth, of course, is Brian Macklin, and in the production hauler is Laura Lawson, getting the picture that you see to you. Tonight, we're here for race number 5 of this season, the 2015 season for Upstate Racing League. Brian, and Five Flag Speedway, kind of a fun, unique track that hadn't been on the sim for a long time. A lot of racers have been asking for it. They finally got it. We've seen so many races here over the last couple of months, especially with right here on LSRTV with a bunch of races done by the Fast League, and it's put on some great racing. 100 laps here, it seems like a lot, but it really goes by pretty quick on this half-mile speedway.
Yeah, short track racing is the heart of racing in America, and this is one of those tracks that you just love to come to. It's a very short, tight oval, and you just want to get out there and have a lot of fun, beat and bang with the guys around you, and see who can come out on top. This is our version of a boxing arena or boxing ring in my opinion, because you get out there and you're just so close to the competition, and typically the only way you can pass somebody on a short track is by using the front bumper of your car and moving the guy in front of you out of the way, and you're going to see a lot of that tonight, and it's going to be really interesting who's going to get that first wrecker wrap by being the first car to get a wreck in this race.
Yeah, that's awfully a cool little prize right there. The first guy who gets knocked out of the race actually gets a paint scheme or a helmet or a fire suit done up for them for the sim, which is pretty neat prize. And I'm not sure if maybe you want to do that at least once so you get a free paint job out of it or not, but it's something, I guess, at least if you're going to get knocked out first, you might as well get something for it. So it's a pretty cool thing for those guys. Last week, of course, a big winner in the series, got his first win of the season, Justin Fuller. A great run for him last week, got his first win of the season, and it put him up into that top spot in the championship standings as we look at those right now as he sits on top of the board now, 8 points over Nicholas Rasmussen. Brandon Otto dropped 2 spots from that top spot down to third right now. Rodney Hack moved up a couple into that 4th spot, and Philip Thompson rounds out the top 5. Pretty close battle so far, 4 races into this season. The problem is you don't want to let that guy get too far ahead of you.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, and it's so easy. If you have contact and get shuffled back into the field, you're going to lose a ton of points, and that's the last thing you want. This is kind of the equivalent of a super speedway because you can go from the front to the back very quickly if something bad happens, and that's something these drivers, especially the guys that are up at the top of the point standings, are really going to be concerned about. Yes, they're only 4 races in, but they still want to think about points every single race. They don't want to worry about it, and that's why qualifying is such a premium. As you see, AJ Bunch right now, he is on the pole. They still have a few laps left, or a few minutes left before that could wrap up, so there's still a chance somebody could jump up there and take that away from him, but as of right now, he's got the best seat in the house, starting on the front row, starting on the pole, and if he can hold on to that, that's going to be exactly where he wants to be, and that's where guys like Dale O'Neill and Justin Fuller, last week's winner, are going to be trying to get out there and take that away from them. They're going to be trying to do everything they can to make a little bit quicker run so they can try to take that lap and get the pole.
Absolutely, and when it comes to short track racing, track position always is a big key to this one. 50 laps or 50 miles here at the Speedway, 100 laps into this one rule that is definitely one that we're going to have to keep an eye on here tonight is these guys get 4 total tires in the pits, Brian. They get 4 total. They can take left sides and right sides. They can take 2 times. They can come down and take right side tires. So pretty interesting strategy could come out of this for these guys. Obviously, you don't want to waste your tires early on in this thing because when it comes down to the end, a late race caution, everybody ducks down for those tires. Tires are going to become a big factor here in this race, so it's going to be interesting to see what type of strategy these guys do. Me personally, I think I'd take the 2 right side tires 2 times if I could.
You know, I really like this, having a tire limit. I think that more leagues and more official series in iRacing should have a tire limit because it just adds that different element, that strategy element that you don't have in so many races. Typically, you get a caution after 5 or 6 laps. Everybody's going to come down and get 4 fresh tires because you want to have fresh tires and you want to make sure you can go out there and charge as hard as possible. With this, you really have to manage your equipment and manage the tires and decide when is it going to be the most influential time to put those new tires on the car. like you said, you don't want to do it too early. You don't want to get your 4 fresh tires on the car, say 10 laps into this race, and then have to ride the next 90 laps out there on that set of tires. So you really have to play it out and see how the race works out. I really like this. I kind of wish more leagues and like I said, more of the official series had this, because it would make the races so much more interesting and probably a lot better, because you'd see the drivers have to play it a lot safer. And this is going to just really play a factor. Me personally, I like 4 fresh tires. I know you said you'd want to get 2 rights on each stop. I think I'd just go for the 4 fresh tires. Personally, I'd say probably around halfway, and then just call it a day from there and hope you can hang on.
That would be a good thing to do. Of course, it all depends on how the cautions fall here tonight, how the track position comes into play for these drivers. So look back last week, like we said, the big winner of the race last week was the 51 of Justin Fuller. The rookie of the race last week was the 52 of Bruce Hilton. So a great job by him last week. And the Wrecker Wrap award, if you want to call it that, went to the number 98 of Eric Hagg last week. Unfortunately, the first one out of the race last week. Last week's Mach 2 Hard Charger Award went to the number 92 of Tony Monge. So Tony Monge doing a great job last week, working his way up through the field and ended up finishing in the second spot there. So a great job by him as he started 29th. So a big mover right there. We're going to, wow, it looks like we're moving right along here, and it looks like we're going to get ready to set the field here for the grid right now. And AJ Bunch, he did it. He got the the NHR pole award here tonight with a fast time of a 6.254. He's going to start on the pole, and outside of him is that 54 of Dale O'Neill. He with a 16.256.
Yep, last week's winner, Justin Fuller, driving the number 51 machine. He's going to be starting in the inside of row number 2. Tony Monge is going to start on the outside of row number 2. He's starting in the number 92 machine, starting P4.
The starting fifth tonight in the 56 is Brandon Wilkinson, and to his outside of row number 3, that's the 57 of Trevor Williams.
Stefan Marinak is going to start in the 7th position. Nicholas Rasmussen is going to start in the 8th position, in row number 4.
Row 5 in the 91 is Justin McDuff, and his outside in the 98 is Eric Hagg.
Roger Holtzclaw is going to start P11. Bruce Hilton is going to start to his outside, starting in the 12th position.
TJ Graves in the number 22 machine will start 13th, while 14th will be the 20 of Al Smith Jr.
Rodney Hack is going to start in the 15th position, and Cale Frenier is going to start to his outside, starting P16.
61 of Dan Dubeck and the 2 of Mike Holtzclaw round out the row number 9.
Christopher Roberts is going to start 19th. Cody Myers is going to round out the top 20.
21st goes to E.J. O'Rourke, and 22nd is John Otta.
23rd is Philip Thompson. 24th goes to drivers here from 27th on back. CJ LeVere, Brandon Otto, Joshua Cotton, AJ Hamill, and Charlie Ryan all chose to not turn a qualifying lap, so they are starting at the rear of the field. And Andy, we're about to have a lot of fun here. 100 laps at Five Flags Speedway. This is going to be crazy.
It is going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun, too, to see. I believe this is your first race being called here. I've done about 5 or 6 of them, I believe. I don't know. With that one, it might be even more. But some great racing has come out of this track. Lap traffic comes into a big factor at this race also. AJ Bunch, though, is going to lead the field to the green as the pace car hits the pit road. Green flag is out, and we're racing here at Five Flags Speedway. And a good jump by both sides right there on the outside of 54. Dale O'Neill able to hang with him for a little bit, but that bottom side is definitely going to be the place to be all night.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, that number 94 machine, or 54 machine, he actually made the outside line work initially. Justin Fuller got to the inside of him through 1 and 2. He was able to clear him and now sets his sights on the race leaders that go back off into turn 1. Justin Fuller is now trying to hold off his challenger from Tony Monge on the outside. Tony is trying to hang on the outside line right now. So far, not able to do it. He's actually going to try the crossover move as they come off turn 4. He looks low. He's back to the inside of Justin Fuller, and we have a crazy battle for third already.
That's a fantastic move right there by Tony Monge, that crossover move. But the battle for the lead's really starting to shape up as Dale O'Neill's actually caught up to AJ Bunch now off of turn number 2. There's a wreck already, turn number 2.
That's a big wreck back in the middle of the pack here. It looks like we have about 6 or 7 cars bunched up here. The number 4 machine is around backwards. That's Cale Frenier. We also have, I'm trying to get numbers here. It looks like the 151 machine is turned around. Have a 5 or 6 car pile up in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Already we have our wrecker wrap deal. We're going to have to figure out who was the one that caused the
Like the number 20 and Al Smith's Jr. there got into the 151 as they went into turn number 1 on the inside lane right there, and it's just tough to catch a break like that. I'm not sure if the 151 came down a little bit maybe into him or what happened there exactly, but already our first caution. And you can see on this racetrack, Brian, when there is an accident, that track just closes up so quickly. It's so narrow out there that you get a couple cars turned like that, there's nowhere for anybody to go. And when you run a couple laps here, you've seen it. When you come down through these corners, you can't see anything until you're there. And that's when you really rely on your spotters.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about almost every short track, is especially when they have these tight corners like you see here at Five Flags. When you're on the straightaway, it's hard to see what's going on in the corner, and if you're back coming off turn 4, you don't know what's going on down in turns 1 and 2. So unless you have a spotter that's able to tell you, hey, there's a wreck, you need to check up, you're not going to know what's going on down there. And then, like you said, the track just it closes up. Once a wreck starts like that one right there, the track is blocked because there's 4 or 5 cars sideways in the middle of the track. You have nowhere to go, so your only option is to hit the brakes and hope that you can come to a complete stop, because if you can't, more than likely you're not going to have a place to go. And that's what we saw happen there. It started off as just a 2-car accident, and just because the track started to get blocked, more cars piled in, and you saw a lot of guys get caught up in it that probably didn't need to be caught up, but it was just almost next to impossible for them to stop because they had so much momentum down the straightaway and they didn't see it until the last second.
Yeah, and the funny thing, well, I guess it's not funny because you get in the wreck, but how much are you actually looking in your mirror as opposed to your front windshield when you're coming up on a wreck like that and you're getting on those brakes? I mean, you're also looking in your rearview mirror because you don't want to get run over. So you're trying not to slam on the brakes too hard because you don't want that guy to rear end you, but at the same time, you got to get your car slowed up because you don't want that front end damage, which can cause some issues with overheating as the night goes on also. So our first caution of the night in the books right now. We'll see if anybody gets caught out of the race so far. So far, the 12, it looks like, has had some, he's down 4 laps right now. So we'll have to see if he can make it back on the track here or if he is done for the night. It looks like he is done for the night. Brian Rogers Jr. will be our Wrecker Wraps winner here tonight, Brian. So a rather quick one, only about 5 laps in the books for him. And that's unfortunate in one regards, but in another, probably get a nice paint job out of it right now. Pace car back off the racetrack. Green flag back in the air. The 14, AJ Bunch. He led from the pole. He's back out there right now in that top spot. The 92 of Tony Monge, able to get that second spot. The 54, though, another wreck in turn number 2.
Yeah, so far the caution has not come out. They are still trying to get everything going. As I'm seeing right now, no caution, but we have several cars sideways and backwards on the back straightaway. A couple of guys look like they're smoking. I'm not sure exactly what happened. We're going to have to go back and look at that. But as of right now, the caution flag did not come out, so these drivers are still going at full speed. The track is clear, so the leaders are going to be able to get through cleanly. But that was kind of interesting there for just a couple of minutes. The replay is up now. You'll see the accident on the restart coming off turn 2. Just a lot of contact back there, and it just led to a little bit of carnage. So meanwhile, though, again, we stay green, and AJ Bunch is trying to hang on to his race lead. He's actually put almost a half a second on the second place runner of Tony Monge. He's actually increased that to just over half a second on. It looks like he's got the car where he wants it to be, and Andy, I would say that he's going to be the man to beat tonight unless something happens to that car.
Yeah, he's definitely got the track position. He definitely has a fast race car, so we'll see how things turn out for AJ Bunch. Obviously, we saw that he was fast getting the pole here tonight. 2nd through 5th, a big battle right now. Those 4 cars going at it. The 51 of Justin Fuller trying to get around the 96 of Stefan Marinak. He's going to get the advantage right there. Looks like Marinak makes contact with the outside wall there off of turn number 4. We talked about it a little bit off air before this race. Turn 4 is really where a lot of the problem comes into effect. Of course, I say that to you earlier before the race too. So anyway, well, I'm sure there 51 of Justin Fuller to get by the 54 of Dale O'Neill also gets around him right now as they try to work around the lap traffic of that 151 machine of Rodney Hack, who was involved in that first incident right now. But right now, our leader, his lead is actually starting to close now as Tony Monge starts to close in off turn 4.
Yeah, AJ got caught up behind a couple of those lap cars, and it allowed for Tony back on that last restart. He got hung out on the outside line. He wasn't able to get going the way he wanted to, but he got in line, he got into a rhythm, and now he's starting to slowly inch his way up there. He's down to just over 0.6 of a second behind AJ Bunch. So Justin Fuller looks like he's got a pretty fast race car right now. Tony Monge also looks like he's got a good car. AJ Bunch might have used his tires up at the beginning of this run. He took off pretty quick and looked like he was really pushing the car, and now they're starting to come back to him. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here. Is Justin Fuller is starting to close in on Tony Monge. He's almost there. He's got about 2 more car lengths, and then he's going to be challenging for second. This 3-car breakaway is pretty impressive. These guys are staying really close together, and then you have a little bit further back Dale O'Neill. He's about 5 or 6 car lengths off those guys. So right now, those 3 guys look like they're the ones to beat, and it's going to be pretty tough if you're going to get up there and have a shot to win this race.
Absolutely, and of course, Justin Fuller, a 3-time series champion here, and getting the job done. He knows how to do it week in and week out, so not surprised to see him up front battling hard for this one. Tony Monge, though, that 92 machine looking real stout right now. Over the long run, that's really where we're going to see who's got the long run car, who's going to be able to pull this one off. So if they got speed towards the latter part of a run, that's the guy that's going to be coming down, taking his 4 tires in lap 50, and then just pretty much keeping his track position for that whole race. Some of the guys in the middle pack, they'll probably do a little bit of strategy with as far as tires, 2 tires maybe on a pit stop under caution. As the battle for the lead really heats up now into turn number 1, Tony Monge, he's all over that rear deck lid right now as they exit turn number 2. He's going for that lead on AJ Bunch.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to take a shot to the inside. Now he backs the corner up, tries to get a run off turn 4. Doesn't quite get the run he was looking for, but he's trying to set AJ up to get that run off the corner where he can try to dive underneath of him and force him off the bottom of the track. That's the only here in front of him, or you've got to figure out a way to get the run off the corner where you're working the way that they want it to. And you can see Tony, he is trying so hard. He's backing the corner up and then getting a huge run off the corner. He's just not quite close enough right now to make it work. He's getting closer and closer, though, and now they're closing in on a little bit of lap traffic. That could play a factor in this. If he can catch AJ at the wrong place, and Justin Fuller actually just made contact with the wall off turn 4, he's going to lose 3rd position, and it's going to be interesting now to see how much damage he's got and how much it affects that car. But meanwhile, back up front, Tony Monge is still trying to set up AJ off turn 4. He's right on the back deck lid of AJ. He's still not able to do anything with him. Is he going to contact with him? Not quite yet. They're so close right now.
They're so close. He's going to dive to the inside now as they head to turn number 3. That's exactly what you need to do. Tony Monge has been trying to set him up like that for the last 5 or 6 laps now. Now give him the lead as he led at the stripe there, but not by much, 32/100ths of a second. But we got ourselves a new race leader as Tony Monge takes over that top spot. AJ Bunch, the key for him now is going to be able to stay with him over the course of this run, keep himself in that position with an opportunity to win this thing here tonight. Justin Fuller, like you said, off turn 4 a few laps ago, made contact with the wall, lost that 3rd spot to the 54 Dale O'Neill. Dale O'Neill has a pretty strong-looking car also here as the laps start to wear off. He's been able to keep it low off of the corners, which is good for him. Not getting loose. He's not too tight right now, so that car very neutral for him as he exits turn number 2, and he's actually starting to close the distance on our second-place runner of AJ Bunch as they head off of turn number 4 again, this time to complete lap number 31.
It's amazing how quickly they have ticked off 31 laps here. It didn't take hardly any time at all, and they still have 70 to go, but that's going to equivalent to about 20 minutes depending on cautions. They're not going to have a lot of time, so you really don't have a lot of time to make your moves and do the things you need to do, so you have to make it count while you've got the opportunities now. And like you said, for Dale O'Neill, he is on his way. He was back about a second behind these guys not too long ago, and now he's closes in to just outside of a half a second. And Tony Monge has caught a ton of traffic. He actually got held up big time because there was 2 lap cars side by side. That opens the door for AJ Bunch to close back in, but AJ also is getting caught up a little bit by these guys, so it's really closing the battle up. You see now Dale O'Neill is closing in, and Justin Fuller, who had contact with the outside wall. It appears that it did not affect his car too badly. He's still about a second behind these guys, trying to hang on and see if he can get up there and challenge them, but these guys are coming up on probably 8 or 9 lap cars. It's going to be very important to get through these lap cars cleanly. You don't want to get caught up behind any, and you certainly don't want to get caught up in a wreck as you're trying to get by these guys. As, oh, there's an orange car right in front of the race leader. He got onto the apron and had to chase the car up out of the way so he didn't cause a wreck. That was really close for the leaders.
That was Rodney Hack in the 151. He's currently scored 22nd place, 3 laps down. Maybe 4 as they come across the start-finish line here. We'll see as the scoring loops again. Fuller getting a little closer off of turn number 4 again. It looks like he's still having some trouble now with the handling car. Maybe possibly the handling going away right now. Top spot though, Tony Monge enjoying about a half-second lead. He's also enjoying the fact that the 81 of Joshua Cotton lap down car is actually in between him and second place runner AJ Bunch, as the 54 of Dale O'Neill also closes in on the back bumper of Bunch. But the leader still, lots of traffic in front of them, lots of lap traffic as they work off at turn number 4 and head down into turn number 1. Again, the 16 right now of Charlie Ryan, last car on the lead lap. That's not going to be for long as Tony Monge works his way into turn number 3.
Yeah, while all that's going on, we're having a little bit of a battle back there for the 4th and 5th position. Justin Fuller, Stefan Marinak were just side by side about a lap ago, and they almost wrecked each other coming off turn 4. There was some pretty intense racing going on. They made a little bit of contact, but they were able to keep the car straight and keep things rolling. Now Justin Fuller has gotten back ahead. I'm not sure if the damage, and it actually looks like Fuller got in the wall again. He's really starting to struggle with this car. That opens the door for Stefan Marinak to get under him again off turn 2. They're side by side. Fuller's going to get a little bit of a run off the corner. He dives in there trying to clear Stefan, not able to do it. They almost touch again as they come off turn 4, and Fuller able to clear Stefan again. These guys are having a whale of a time. This is what short track racing is all about. Getting close, making a little bit of contact, racing hard. That's what you want to see. That's old school short track racing right there, and that's exactly what I enjoy seeing. These guys are having a blast. Meanwhile, up front, Tony Monge, he is starting to pull away. Oh, it's actually, he's on his lid. There was a wreck with a lap car. He got turned sideways by a lap car off turn 4. That brings out the caution. Huge implications for the race leader. The 16 machine was getting lapped, and it just looked like Tony didn't know he was still there. He tried to clear up onto the straightaway and got turned sideways and up and over, and we have another caution here at the Five Flag Speedway.
Yeah, the replay goes on your screen right there. Leader Tony Monge getting in trouble right there with the 16 machine of Charlie Ryan. Like you said, I don't know if he just didn't, if he thought he was clear there or what, but trying to set up his entry into turn number 1, he ends up getting into the nose of the 16 machine of Charlie Ryan. A big pileup for him, rolling over a couple times right there. So scary little incident there. He's obviously going to want to head down to pit road, though. Working lap number 44. Caution flag. Is this the time when the leaders come down and get those 4 fresh tires and maybe make it to the end? And it looks like somebody faked somebody out now, as all your leaders are heading down pit road, except for one, AJ Bunch. I think he got caught sleeping there on that one, Brian.
Yeah, not sure if he got caught sleeping or if he just decided he wasn't going to come down yet. I'm going to have to go back and look at the lap times and see how the tires fell off. It didn't look like the cars were handling too terribly bad, but looking back at the lap times now, they actually were losing about 3/10 from what they were able to run at the beginning of the run. So this is probably a good call for the guys that came to pit road. AJ Bunch might have just put himself in a bad position. Looks like the only other car that stayed out with him was TJ Graves in the number 22, possibly CJ LeVere. It does look like CJ LeVere also stayed out with him. We're actually waiting on scoring to update because it looks like we have a few more. So once scoring updates, we'll be able to clarify that. Looks like Joshua Cotton and a handful of others might have. So this is going to shuffle some of the race leaders that were up front into the middle of the top 10. It's going to make it a little bit of a challenge, but they're going to have the fresher tires, and with 50 laps to go, that might be what you want, because we just saw a long green flag run, and that seems to be the trend now, getting some long green flag runs, and they might actually be able to make something out of this.
Yeah, working our second caution of the night here tonight. Of course, take a moment to thank these wonderful sponsors we have on board here for the Upstate Racing Series. And, of course, I knew I'm going to mess this up a few times. La Enterprise MP Roy Inc. They offer trackside services at all 8 racing facilities in Quebec, which includes 5 asphalt and 3 dirt tracks. So they also service the American Canadian Tour, the Pro All-Star Series, Sportsman Quebec, and Super Truck Series. La Enterprise MP Roy Inc. was formed in 2006. Parts vendor. So fantastic sponsors, obviously, and to get things done anywhere like that, Brian, any of these series, any of these racing leagues on iRacing, it takes a lot of people, a lot of help behind the scenes to get these races, these series, these all these racing series. We see so many of them afloat, and they have great car counts like we have tonight here with 31 cars starting this race here tonight. So some interesting strategy already playing into effect. Looks like we're going to get the one to go this time by here as the field's going to start to bunch up. Brian, it's interesting strategy on some of these guys' parts. Obviously, Justin Fuller looks like he might be the first one that came out of pit road with some sort of tires. He might have taken 2. We'll have to check that. But up front, as the green flag is out again. AJ Bunch going to lead the field back into turns 1 and 2. Some guys checking up on that outside lane. A little loose right there for the 54. Dale O'Neill off in the corner, but AJ Bunch able to pull away with the lead right now. Currently, as the battle for second heats up. There's some fresh tires on that 51 machine. He's going to go around TJ Graves.
And Justin Fuller has the fresh tires, and he's got a fast race car. That's a bad combination for these guys that stayed out. And he now sets his sights on race leader and pole sitter AJ Bunch. It's not going to be much of a contest at all, as he's already right on the back bumper of him. You'll probably see off turn 2. Fuller's going to have the run, and he's going to make the move. And just as I say that, here he comes off turn 2 to the inside. Oh, AJ is actually going to put up a little bit of a block. He tried to block Fuller, wasn't able to do it. Fuller was still able to get to the inside, and as they come off turn 4 to complete lap 52, we have a new race leader for the first time tonight. Last week's winner, Justin Fuller, goes to the point with those fresh tires. Now he's looking to try to pull away. What he wants now is for this thing to stay green, because if they have another caution, unless he took 2 tires, we're going to have to go back and look, he can't come back to pit road. He's going to be stuck back out there where AJ Bunch could come down and get tires. So it's going to be a very interesting thing how this race plays out, as they're making a lot of contact back around the 5th position, as we see Nicholas Rasmussen. He's in the middle of a bumper car fest going on right here. They're beating and banging all over the place.
Yeah, that's some great racing right there. All the way back here to 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th spot right there. All, it looks like being held up currently by the 22 of TJ Graves. Obviously on those older tires right now, kind of holding up the field is a 71, and Nick Rasmussen is trying to get around him, trying to do everything he can. Looks to the inside. TJ Graves going to go down there and block, though. That's a good way to get spun. That's a good way to get spun right there, is trying to block somebody as you're going into the corner right there. TJ Graves able to hang on to that position, though, currently is stacking up the field right behind these guys. The 57 on the outside, Trevor Williams, just nowhere to go currently. He can't even get down to the bottom side. He's hanging tough, though, on that top side, trying to do everything he can. Now we're going to go almost 3 wide into turn number 3. Rasmussen finally gets under TJ Graves. That's going to open up the door now, and here comes everybody else. Stefan Marinak now looking to get around TJ Graves. Graves off the inside wall, pushes up the track.
A little bit of contact there. The 22 is kind of like a ping pong right now. He just keeps getting shot around all over the places. The 24 machine now is Brandon Otto. He's going to work underneath him, clear him. That brings the number 97 of John Ada along with him. As right now TJ Graves is falling back in a hurry. He's trying to get back in line. He's actually back in line now, and this has been an intense battle back here. These guys are racing really hard. This is not what Justin Fuller wants. We're trying to see the number.
That 81 machine looks like he went around for a ride right there. That's Joshua Cotton. So the 81, we saw him battling those leaders early on, as the replay goes up on your screen right now, as he just gets into some trouble here. Almost 3 wide going into turn number 3 there with the 56 Machine was involved also. That's the Brandon Wilkinson in the 56, the 57. Trevor Williams also right around that area at that time right there. But just a product of trying to come down on that bottom side and just ends up driving right into Brandon Wilkinson. Gets himself spun. Looks like another car was involved too. Just having a hard time reading his number at that. Yeah, the 98 right there, having some issues also. So a few more guys, 4 more cars involved in that one right there. So caution for the 3rd time out on the Speedway. We just completed or just got past the halfway point about 10 laps ago. We got ourselves about 38 laps to go when they come back around to the stripe here. But we're gonna give our LSRTV mid-race rundown here as some guys are gonna come down pit road. But currently, right now, last week's winner, 3-time champion in this Upstate Racing Series. It's the 51 at Justin Fuller right now, currently your points leader also. The 54 at Dale O'Neill currently runs 2nd. Nicholas Rasmussen is in the 3rd spot. Stefan Marinak runs 4th. 5th goes to Brandon Otto. John Otta is 6th. 7th goes to AJ Bunch. 8th is CJ LeVere. 9th goes to Trevor Williams. And running out the top 10 is that 56 of Brandon Wilkinson.
Yep, Justin McDuff is going to sit in the 11th position. Bruce Hilton is sitting 12th. AJ Hamill is sitting 13th. Tony Monge, after being race leader early on and then having contact with the 16 of Charlie Ryan, he is sitting 14th. TJ Graves is 15th. Charlie Ryan is the last car on the lead lap. He's in the 16th position. The following drivers are all at least 1 lap down or more. Dylan Gaudet is in the 17th position. Joshua Cotton is 18th. Jay Dubuque is 19th, and rounding out the top 23 laps down is Eric Hogg.
Philip Thompson also 3 laps down, and then you got cars that are already off the track in this one. In 22nd place right now is Rodney Heck. Roger Holtzclaw is 23rd. 24th is Mike Holtzclaw. EJ O'Rourke sits 25th. 26th is Cody Myers. Dan Dubuque is 27th. 28th is Christopher Roberts. Cale Fernier is 29th. Al Smith Jr. 30th. And Brian Rogers Jr., the first one to exit the race here this evening. Pace up. They're going to throw the caution, and we're going to go around at least one more time right now. Justin Fuller, though, already has taken his 4 tires so far in this race. He did it around that halfway spot. He should be pretty good. Looks like the crew got a lot of that damage fixed up also that he had on that right side. So I'm sure that fixed the handling quite a bit. Maybe it was about 5 laps before the halfway point. So I believe he should be all right. Obviously, some of these guys behind him have the 4 fresh tires currently, but I think that there might be enough cars in between him and the rest of the field there that it might be enough of a cushion for him.
Yeah, I was looking at that. AJ Bunch fell all the way back to the 12th position, so he's going to have a lot of cars to pass and not very many laps. 34 laps, 33 when they go back green. That's just not going to be a lot of time. It's going to be very difficult for him to get back up there. I wasn't sure about Fuller's call to take 4 tires when he did, but now looking at how many guys did it with him and how far back his main competition is, I think it was a good call. Pace car is in. We're about to get another American Ethanol green flag. Green flag is in the air. Justin Fuller is on the loud pedal, and he is gone. He gets a big jump. There are actually 3 wide as they go off into turn 1. They're all trying to make something happen. Dale O'Neill did not get a good restart. He's going to fall back. He's already fallen back to 4th. It looks like he may lose that position as well. He is under fire from Stefan Marinak and Brandon Otto as they work off turn 4.
And there, Nick Rasmussen, they're up to that 2nd spot. And then Stefan Marinak, he just looks like he made a little bit of contact with that 24 machine of Brandon Otto, as he's now struggling and falling way back in through the field.
Yeah, really struggling here in the early stages of this restart. Dale O'Neill did not get going at all, and he is really struggling. He's up the track as they work through turns 3 and 4. He's going to fall outside of the top 5. He was up there battling for the race lead not too long ago, and now he is just struggling to get going at all. Meanwhile, back out front, Justin Fuller is pulling away. No competition at the front of the field, so we're going to stay focused on this battle back here. Trevor C. Williams and Dale O'Neill battling hard for that 5th and 6th position. Then you also have Joshua Cotton and Brandon Otto right behind these guys, all racing hard. A little bit of contact as there was a little bit of contact between the 57, still contact as these guys are racing hard off the corner. John Ada is now diving off in there. These guys are racing like it's the last lap, and they still have 30 laps to go.
Yeah, now they got the 22. TJ Graves back in the mix here after that last caution, able to get some tires on his machine. He's he's actually methodically working his way through the traffic. Right now, he took advantage of the 97 of John Otta getting in making all that contact with the 57. 57 now hard in the wall off of turn number 4. That's going to leave TJ Graves the opportunity to get right on his back bumper. Not looking like he's going to be able to pass him this time, though, but a great battle nonetheless right now. TJ Graves in that 7th spot currently, wants to get up into 6, hopefully trying to get up into that top 5 area right now, but the longer he sits behind these other cars with his fresh tires, the more he's going to burn them right now, as now he looks to the inside. It looks like he's going to finally get to the inside of Trevor Williams now back into turn 3.
Yeah, he dove it off in there into turn 3 and really made that charge off into the corner. He sent it. Now he's still battling side by side. AJ Bunch is right behind him. He's one of the guys that was out front, your pole sitter. He's struggling to get back up to the field. As he gets loosed off too, he got on the apron. He drove it too low, and we have a wreck. TJ Graves and the 57 of Trevor C. Williams are around. Big wreck. The 52 is involved. And TJ Graves is on his lid. AJ Bunch was also caught up in that huge wreck on lap number 76.
And the woes continue for TJ Graves this season. I believe he's been in a wreck in every single one of these races so far this season, having a tough time. He's sitting way low in the points as we take a look at the replay up on your screen right now. And man, what a tough break right there. Just battling hard for position. You end up just flat out running out of room. We're going to take this time, though. We haven't done it yet. We're going to step aside, take a real quick break, and we'll come back and get you green flag action to the end of this thing. You're watching Upstate right here on LSRTV.
Our research shows drivers won a league with no
cheating,
kids wrecking me,
admin favoritism, multiple fast repairs,
intentional wrecks.
Drivers we interviewed also won a league with
clean competitive racing, clear-cut rules,
enjoys having all the drivers,
a full field of drivers,
end-of-year cash purse,
follows the rules on a constant basis.
At Domino's TYJ Racing, we listened to the drivers and created a league with high integrity and professionalism, just like Domino's Pizza has maintained for the last 55 years. Claim your share of the over $3,000 purse by applying today at Domino'sTYJRacing.com for one of the few remaining Cup car rides or your seat in our action-packed truck series.
Yo, I dropped the 88. Ricky Bobby, shake and bake, sleeping on it, should've stayed awake, huh?
Did you know the lion's sense of vision is so powerful, it actually enables nearby creatures to see better? Here we see lions assisting the offspring of others, while their parents are elsewhere in the wild. Brilliant, isn't it? Making the wild kingdom look much better indeed. Do good, be a lion.
We're back at the virtual Five Flag Speedway, and green flag is back out underway. We're back to racing. Just one lap into it, Justin Fuller already back out to a decent lead right now, about 3 or 4 car lengths over Stefan Marinak. Marinak able to get up into that second spot right now. Nicholas Rasmussen sits third. Just behind him, though, a pretty good group of cars right there, starting with Brandon Otto, Dale O'Neill, and CJ LeVere, all close battle right now, trying to get themselves in the top 5 here before this one's over. Coming to the line this time by, we're going to have 16 laps to go. The laps are really starting to click away. Does anyone have anything for Justin Fuller?
It's not looking like it right now. Last week's winner is looking to go back-to-back here in the Upstate Racing League. Again, you've mentioned it a few times. He's a 3-time champion of this series, so he knows how to get the job done in these late models. Arguably one of the best short track drivers in this service and definitely in this league. And I've got to give him kudos for what he's been through tonight. He hit the wall, he tore up the car, but he kept in it. He didn't let that get him down. He got his fresh tires and he put himself in a position, and now with 15 laps to go, he's pulling away and looks like he's going to be the man to beat unless something crazy happens, which we've already seen something crazy happen with the race leader, so we can't just hand this win to him yet. We saw earlier the race leader getting taken out by a lap car in Tony Mange. So obviously this isn't over yet. Something could happen and take that away from him, but he's looking good right now as Stefan Marinak is behind him with Nicholas Rasmussen right on his back bumper. They are racing hard for that second position. Nicholas has given him everything he's got, trying to get onto the back bumper of him actually to see if he can't move him up out of the racing groove and take away that second position.
He is trying. The 71 Nicholas Rasmussen off turn 4 right there, trying to time his move as he enters the corner a little bit high, trying to diamond that corner off, get the run off the corner. Not going to have it that time off turn number 2. He'll try it again into turn number 3. Gets all the way up onto that back bumper right there of Stefan Marinak, just unable to close that last half a car length or so right now. Marinak doing a great job on that bottom side, able to hold him off for the time being right now. But in the meantime, all that's doing is giving Justin Fuller the opportunity to pull away. Right now, it's about a 1 second lead, which is pretty big at a short track, especially with only 10 laps to go.
Yep, 10 laps to go at the line. Last time by Justin Fuller. He knows all he's got to do is hit his marks 10 more times and he's going to win this race. Stefan Marinak has started to get away from Nicholas Rasmussen, so he's settled into the second position. We have a little bit of a battle around the 5th, 6th, and 7th position. You've got CJ Levere in the 44 machine back there battling. You also have the 24 Brendan Otto in the 5th position, and you have John Ada in the number 97 in the 7th position. These guys are racing pretty hard, all trying to get into that top 5 just to say they can finish up there in the top 5 and have a solid night. They're battling pretty hard here. As you can see, the number 44 of CJ Levere, he's doing everything he can, trying to close in on the number 24 of Brendan Otto. He's trying to get there. He's doing the same thing we saw Nicholas Rasmussen doing to Stefan. He's backing that corner up and getting a wide arc and then trying to get the run up off the corner, and it's working. He's just running out of time. They've got 7 laps to go at the line.
Yeah, definitely running out of time currently right now. Oh, look at him getting a real good run off turn number 2. 24, though, going to throw the block going into turn number 3. That's going to jumble him up just a bit, but here they go off turn 4 to 24. Maybe it scraped the wall right there. Finally opens the door on the inside. Now the 44 gets real hot into the corner. Makes contact. Not able to make the pass, though. The 24, Brandon Otto, able to hold on to that 5th spot for the time being off of turn 4.
Yeah, really intense battle here. This is for the 5th position. Brandon Otto has it. CJ Levere wants it. He had an opportunity. He actually made a little bit of contact, tried to shove Brandon up out of the racing groove, wasn't able to do it. I have a feeling if he gets back to him, he's going to use a little bit more force and try to get him up out of the racing groove by hitting him a little bit harder. And he's got that opportunity now. He closes in. He's actually going to get to the inside. They're side by side again. He's trying to get the run up off the corner, but Brandon's got the momentum, and we have a caution, and that's going to end the race. Justin Fuller's going to bring it home. The caution is out. I'm trying to find. It looks like we have a car around on the front stretch. That's the number 26 of Dylan Gaudette. He lost it on the front straightaway, and that brings out our final caution of the race. And Justin Fuller is going to win back-to-back and be a winner here at the Five Flags Speedway.
Yeah, trouble off a turn number 4 right there for the 26 of Dylan Gaudette, and that's going to end this one under caution, unfortunately. I mean, the only downside to that is the fact that Stefan Marinak he had a great car in the restart, but then once it fell back to about a second, he was able to get it up to about 0.8 of a second right there, right when a caution came out, but obviously running out of time in a hurry. So probably a good thing right there for Justin Fuller. He had a great race car the second half of this race. Wasn't able to show any of it in that first half of the race, seeing that he had a lot of damage hitting the wall a couple times there off of turn number 4. So rebounded very nicely right there to take his second win in a row.
Yeah, very impressive rebound in the second half of this race. You talked about it at the beginning of this race. He didn't show the speed that he had. Then he had contact with the outside wall, and it just didn't look like things were going his way early on. And then the accident with Tony Monge happened, and he made a call to come to pit road and get 4 fresh tires. And that actually set him up because he was the first car off pit road with tires. And the only other competition that he really had other than Dale O'Neill was AJ Bunch. And AJ was on old tires, and that made it very difficult for AJ to really even compete with him. And that's essentially what won this race for Justin Fuller. Just a smart strategy call where somebody else didn't make the same call, and it worked out in Fuller's favor.
It did. White flag obviously in the air right now. Coming off of turn number 4, though, checkered flag is going to be displayed for that 51 machine of Justin Fuller. He's going to pad his points lead. He came into the night 8 points ahead of second. It's going to be more now as he takes the checkered flag and wins here at Five Flag Speedway. So a great job right there by Justin Fuller. Stefan Marinak came home second. Nicholas Rasmussen third. Fourth goes to Dale O'Neill. Fifth will go to Brandon Otto. We're going to take a short, quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our top 3, including our winner, the 51 of Justin Fuller. You're watching Upstate Racing League right here on LSRTV.
in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it at a 4, who's going to be at the stripe, dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Monza is a very historic track. It's been around since the 20s, and it's gone through several permutations since then. We're also bringing forward a number of configurations. So there's chicanes that they've installed since the track's early days. So they can use original, very high-speed configurations of the track where the cars would just blow through where the chicanes are today, or they could use a more modern version. So it's a pretty cool, compelling track. The unique thing about Monza is it has a road course, but it also has a high-speed oval, and that high-speed oval can be run by itself. The Grand Prix course can be run by itself, and they also can be run together in a combined circuit, which is very unique and special in motorsports. This was one of the more challenging projects that we've undertaken. It was essentially building two tracks in one. It took a lot of time.
Welcome back to the virtual Five Flag Speedway for the Lay Enterprise MP Roy Inc. 100. Round number 5 of 12 is in the books. 50 miles, 100 laps is complete. Our big winner tonight, Justin Fuller. We'll talk to him in a moment, but first, Brian Macklin's down on pit road. He's got our second and third place finishers.
Yeah, I get the pleasure of speaking to both second and third place. We're going to start with our third place finisher, Nicholas Rasmussen. Nick, that was a crazy race. We saw a lot of cautions, and then we also did see one long green flag stint, followed up by the race leader getting taken out by a caution. But take us through your night and how you managed to come home with a third place finish. You started in the 8th position, so you had to work your way up a little bit to get to where you finished.
Yeah, I think third place was pretty much the best result we could have had today. We have been struggling a little bit with the raw pace, but on the long run, it seems pretty good. After the first pit stop, I had to defend and work myself a little bit up the field, and that was pretty hard for my tires. So when we came to the end of the race, it was pretty difficult to keep up, but I had a good battle with Stefan. That was really enjoyable. And just being patient at the right time and aggressive at the right time paid out today. So all in all, probably the best result I've got today. So I'm happy, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, and coming into tonight, you were second in the points, of course, finishing behind Justin Fuller. That doesn't help you with trying to chase him down for the championship. But next Thursday night, we're going to the USA Speedway. What are your thoughts about going to that track? Do you feel like you have a shot to win there? And what kind of strategy do you see yourself employing at that track?
First of all, congratulations to Justin Fuller. He's the man to beat at the moment, and everybody just needs to step up their game. The USA International Speedway is probably one of my favorite tracks. So it's pretty much, straightforward for me. I've had a lot of good results there in the past. So I look forward to that.
All right, and real quick before we let you go, Nicholas, I just want to give you a chance to give your sponsors a plug and any friends or family you want to say hi to before we let you roll.
Yeah, first of all, again, a huge thank you to Al Smith Jr. for the tremendous work he does for this league. And then I'll also give a shout out to Kasper Trane, Henrik Rasmussen, and I'm pretty sure Michael Tuck is watching this race. So hi, Michael. Also a big thank you to my sponsors, Smith Media Productions, Repeated Travel, Finn Olsen BVS, the series sponsor, MP Roy, and to you guys in the booth for giving us the opportunity to go out and hopefully give a good show to our fans.
That was watching enjoyed it as well. That was your third place finisher, driver number 71, Smith Media Productions, Nicholas Rasmussen, your third place finisher. Now, I'm going to step over just a handful of steps here to Stefan Marinak. Stefan, you finished second tonight. You were trying to race down Justin Fuller, but you also had to battle with Nicholas Rasmussen. Interesting battle there with him, and a caution could have stuck in second place.
I think earlier in the race I would have, but I got kind of cycled back on the pit stops, and I used my tires up pretty bad going through the field. So I don't think I really had anything for him at the end. He was pulling away from me for the most part. But that was fun with Nicholas. That was a really good battle with him.
Yeah, that was indeed a very good battle. We enjoyed watching it. I'm sure everybody at home enjoyed watching it as well. You missed a race in this series, so of course you're not racing for the championship. But next week we're heading to the USA Speedway. What are your thoughts on that track? Do you have anything for Justin Fuller? Because it seems like he's the man to beat after winning 2 in a row here and taking off with an early points lead.
Yeah, I think USA is probably the best track we're going to be running on the schedule. It's really smooth. I really like it. I haven't raced there in a while, but it's a really fun track, and I'm just trying to work my way up in the points little bit by little bit, and hopefully I can get in the top 14 and make the chase. But yeah, I mean, right now Justin's the guy to beat. I don't think I've beat him at all this season, so it's going to be a good battle. I hope I can get up there to the top 14.
All right, well, congratulations on your good finish. Before we let you go, just want to give you a chance to say hello to any friends or family and give any sponsors a shout out that you need to give a shout out to.
Speed Force Racing, my teammate CJ Levere, Mach 1 Racing Graphics, the league, Upstate Racing League, and you guys at LSRTV.
All right, thank you, Stefan. Good, congrats on your second place finish, and we hope to see you up here again on the podium next week at USA. That was Stefan Marinak, your second place finisher. Now, Andy, I believe, because you didn't want to run down here and do interviews with me, you're caught up in victory lane with our race leader.
Yes, I'm very much refreshed right now, but I am in victory lane with our big winner, back-to-back winner, That is the 51 of Justin Fuller. Justin, congratulations. Big win for you here tonight.
Thank you very much. It means a lot to win the first race here at the Five Flags Speedway for the Upstate Racing League. Five Flags has such a rich history with short track racing, especially late models, that really wanted to win this one. I was glad I pulled it off.
It didn't look so hot early on in the race there, that first 40, 45 laps of the race before we had that caution around the midway point there. Yeah, got into the wall off turn 4 a couple times there. Had some significant damage to that right side. You started to fall back in through the field there. Was that caution a timely one for you? It really helped you?
I was really saving my stuff early on. I knew it was going to be a long race with possible green flag runs, so I was really saving my stuff early. Got in the wall a little bit. I don't think it hurt me too much, though. Might not have turned as good, but we were really just pacing the car, trying to save our stuff. It doesn't sound like I'm saving my stuff too much if I hit the wall, but wasn't too bad of a hit. I hit it a lot harder at Martinsville and knocked a toe out there, but no, we were really just saving our stuff. We knew we had stuff on the long run, and short run speed we didn't really have.
Well, fortunate for you, you took the 4 tires there at a timely spot, 55 to go. You were able to get the lead and hang on to it for the rest of the race there. You're starting to pull away from those guys towards the end there. You pick up your second win in a row now. You take a pretty commanding lead in the point standings here as we head towards the latter half of this series. Heading to USA next week. Size up that place for you and your race team.
I love USA. I complained a lot tonight. I hate tight setups, and we just couldn't really get it out of it, and I'm probably expecting the same at USA. It's probably going to be tight there too. It's probably going to be hot and just not going to drive very good for me, but hopefully we'll keep the consistency up. Aside from the first race of the season at Iowa where I caused a wreck and I got myself involved, we've been really consistent. I don't think we finished outside the top 3 since. Hopefully we'll continue that, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for this win. This is good stuff.
Well, you've done it 2 weeks in a row now. Sponsor shout-outs. Who gets it done for you?
I got to thank John Ada with Ada Sign Wraps, Nasty North Sticker Company, MP Roy for sponsoring the league, iRacing Memes, Hag TV, BRM, Lake City RC Speedway, Hanson Starter Shop, Lake City Hobbies, Upstate Racing League with Al Smith and all the work he does, LSRTV, you guys broadcasting, Laura, all she does behind the scenes. Got to thank TimmyHill.com, Aftermath Motorsports. We're looking to hopefully get myself and EJ in this chase. EJ is not doing too well himself, but hopefully he can get his luck turned around at Aftermath, and we'll start bringing him some good stuff, and we'll see what happens.
Well, there you have it. Big winner again here tonight for the second week in a row. Hopefully we'll see you at Victory Lane again next week at USA.
That would be nice, wouldn't
it? For you, it would. For the rest of the field, it wouldn't, though. Justin Fuller, your big winner here tonight at Five Flag Speedway. He talked about it, the history at this racetrack, Brian, and he wanted this win. He wanted it bad just because of how prestigious this track is. And like I said at the beginning of the race, everyone had been clamoring for this racetrack, and iRacing finally brought it here. We've seen so many races here over the last few months, and it's just an amazing thing. And we got a snowball derby coming up here in a matter of 2 weeks, 2 Sundays from now, the 15th of December. The Fast League is putting on their first annual snowball derby. Of course, the snowball derby is coming up here. I believe all the festivities start off this coming week, I believe, don't they?
Yes, they do, as a matter of fact. And real quick, we're going to take an opportunity just to go down through the full field rundown. Justin Fuller was your race winner here tonight at the Five Flag Speedway. We talked to him, and he was very thrilled with that victory. Stefan Marinak finished second. Nicholas Rasmussen finished third. Dale O'Neill came home fifth. CJ LeVere got sixth. John Ada is in seventh. Trevor C. Williams is going to come home eighth. AJ Hamill is ninth. And rounding out the top 10, Brandon Wilkinson is going to get a 10th place finish.
Yeah, coming home 11th here tonight was a 92 of Tony Monge, getting early leader, getting in a big wreck, able to come back to that 11th spot. So a good rebound for him. AJ Bunch in that 14th finished 12th. 13th went to Dylan Gaudette. Jay Dubeck finished 14th. 15th went to Philip Thompson. Joshua Cotton finished 16th. 17th went to Justin McDuff. Roger Holtzclaw finished 18th. 19th was the 52 of Bruce Hilton. TJ Graves will round out the top 20.
Yeah, all of the drivers from 16th on back did not finish this race. They had to take it behind the wall. Finishing in the 21st position was Mike Holtzclaw. Charlie Ryan finished 22nd. Eric Hogg finished 23rd. Rodney Hack, 24th. EJ O'Rourke came home 25th. Cody Myers, 26th. Dan Dubuc finished 27th. Christopher Roberts, 28th. Cale Frenier finished 29th. Al Smith Jr. finished 30th. And the first man that had to take it behind the wall, Brian Rogers Jr., he finished 31st. And that is a look at your full field rundown. And Andy, next week at USA, it's going to be a really exciting race. It's a little bit longer straightaways. It's kind of like an oversized Martinsville. There's a little bit of banking there, but the tight corners and the long straightaways really reminds you of Martinsville. It's going to be a very interesting race. And for Justin Fuller, I'm sure he wants to go for 3 in a row.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about Martinsville with banking in the corner, so it gets them a little bit more of speed going into on that racetrack. USA is definitely one of those tracks that everybody in iRacing has spent a lot of time on, all the way from the rookie series where you start off in iRacing and you log many laps there. So it's a very familiar track for a lot of people, and a lot of guys like it. We heard from our top 3, and all 3 of them we're looking forward to going there next week. We want to take a second note, thank our sponsors, of course, that help get this done week in and week out for the Upstate Racing League. MP Roy Inc., a distributor of retail motorsports products, including electronic communications equipment, safety equipment, and race car bodies. Find out more at www.lessenterprisemproinc.com. Of course, our poll award going tonight to the 14, of H.A. Bunch. He comes home with the pole award, the NHR Racing Pole Award here tonight. Of course, iRacing Memes and Brian Rogers Motorsports. Also, Varno Construction, covering all phases of residential construction, kitchen, baths, garages, decks, electrical, plumbing, painting, replacement windows, and more. Call 518-335-2207 for more information. Well, that pretty much wraps up and sums up everything we saw here at Five Flag Speedway. It's your first broadcast at this track. I'm sure you're looking forward to doing more after this one.
Oh, yeah, I had a blast tonight. They put on a really good show. It was a lot of fun. And short track racing, again, it's the heart of racing in America. It's what you look forward to do. It's what you live to do. You see families go to their local short tracks on the weekends during the summer. It's just what makes racing so special. Yes, you have NASCAR going to a lot of the bigger tracks, but short track racing is where it all started, and it's just a really incredible thing. And I'm so glad that these guys here at the Upstate Racing League decided to go with a short track series instead of going to all the big tracks. The big tracks can produce some good racing, but the short track racing is always above and beyond the best racing that you're going to have. And these guys do it week in and week out. They put on a great show. They have a lot of fun out there on the racetrack, and they certainly give us something to look forward to week in and week out.
They certainly do. And, of course, next week right here on LSRTV, it'd be round number 6 of the Upstate Racing League right here at USA Speedway. But before that, of course, there's tomorrow night right here on LSRTV, the Friday night doubleheader with the Rod Car Truck Series and the iSuper Speedway Racing Series right here on iRacing Live and LSRTV. But with that said, I'm Andy Kessler for Brian Macklin and Laura Lawson. You've been watching Upstate Racing League right here on LSRTV. We'll see y'all tomorrow night.